Hello everyone, we are here to share another I Can Read book which you can find at icanread.com. We've borrowed this book from the Ann Arbor Public Library and we're happy to share it with you. It's a beginning level 1 book. Again, with these books, the levels, I don't know if I'd necessarily respect them. Some of the books that are at level 3 appear to be easier, and some of the beginning books are harder. You'll see this one has a lot of quotations, and I think that's harder for beginning readers to understand what that all means and get the flow of the book. So this is a good one. It's called Dirk Bones and the Mystery of the Missing Books. It's by Doug Cushman. I Can Read. Dirk Bones and the Mystery of the Missing Books. Story and pictures by Doug Cushman. HarperCollins Publishers. Knock, knock. The door cracked open. Hello, I said. I am Dirk Bones, a reporter for the newspaper, The Ghostly Tunes. I am here to write a story about Edgar Bleak, the author of spooky books. That's me, said Edgar. Please come inside. My readers would like to know where you get the ideas for your stories, I said. The town of Ghostly is very spooky, said Edgar. It gives me a lot to write about. Do you have a new book? I asked. Yes, said Edgar. Let me show it to you. I have the only copy until it is in the bookstores. He walked into his writing room. Edgar looked on his desk. It's not here, he said. Maybe I misplaced it. I'll help you look for it, I said. We looked in closets and cupboards, in the bookcase and the bathtub, but no book. Oh dear, Edgar said. Do you think my book was stolen? Maybe, I said. I spied a wet leaf on the floor, next to the open window. This is a strange leaf, I said. It might be a clue to the missing book. Maybe I can find a picture of it in a book at the library. At the ghostly town library, I looked through 36 books of plants and leaves, but I did not find one picture of the strange leaf. What brings you here, Dirk? Said Miss Elsa, the librarian. A mystery, I said. I have a mystery too, she said. Someone has been stealing books from the library. What kinds of books have been stolen? I asked. It's very odd, said Elsa. Only books by Edgar Bleak. Mr. Bleak has a book missing from his house tonight, I said. Could someone have taken all the books? I also found this, Elsa said. It was next to the bookshelf. She held up a leaf, just like the one I found. These leaves are an important clue, I said. Maybe the bookstore has books about plants. I must solve this mystery. The bookstore was on the other side of town. I took a shortcut through the green lagoon. I walked through the tall, wet grass. Something moved in the water. I turned. A dark, dripping shape climbed out of the lagoon. It moved closer and closer. Achoo! Bless you, Darlene, I said. My home's so wet, said Darlene. I always get the sniffles. What are you doing here, Dirk? Trying to solve a mystery, I said. Some books are missing. I have not seen any books, Darlene said. But lately I hear strange noises. They sound like voices. Have you ever seen a leaf like this? I asked. But Darlene did not answer. Yikes! She cried. She jumped back into the lagoon. I turned to see a huge vine rise out of the tall grass. The vine was covered with the strange leaves. The vine slithered like a big snake into the town of Ghostly. I ran after it. It wriggled into the bookstore, grabbed a book, and slithered back to the lagoon. It was very fast. The vine disappeared. I looked all around, but the tall grass hid everything. Just then I heard a sound. It sounded like a voice. I followed the noise. I pushed aside a leafy bush and saw a plant holding a book. It was reading the book. The plant turned. Eek! It said. You scared me. You scared me, I said. Who are you? Lenore, said the plant. I'm a very rare Creepus crawler taucus vine. Where do you come from? I asked. When I was a little seed, the wind blew me from that faraway mountain, Lenore said. I planted myself here. It's cool and wet, perfect for my roots and leaves. Why are you stealing books by Edgar Bleak? I asked. I just borrowed them, said Lenore. I promised to give them back after I read them to my children. Mr. Bleak is their favorite author. Your children? I asked. I looked down. 5 little flowers popped up. We love spooky stories, they said. This gives me an idea for a story for my newspaper, I said. The next day, the front page read, Reporter gets library card for plant. Now my kids will always have spooky stories, said Lenore. The library is the best place for budding readers, said Edgar. Even budding flowers, I said. The end. Looks like Dirk Bones has other mysteries and stories for us as well. Again, this book was Dirk Bones and the Mystery of the Missing Books by Doug Cushman. It's an I Can Read book, which you can probably find in any library, bookstore, or at icanread.com.